Welcome everyone to fntraining.tv, where we talk about the fantastic and amazing FileMaker platform. We had just finished up our beginner series, and now we have the wonderful, wonderful Nick Hunter back with us, and who's here to show all sorts of really cool and unique tricks and tips and tricks with us, which we are looking forward to greatly. For a live training schedule this week, what do we have this week? Nick is going to finish up his really fast series on building a selectable date record generator in FileMaker, which is really awesome. We are all very excited to see how that pans out. Friday, we did get into contact with Christian Schmitz. He has confirmed he will be there Friday, so the shenanigans on Monday will not repeat themselves. He will be there with an update for his Monkey Bud plugin, which will be fun. We do have our FM Training annual subscription. These are 100 plus hours of video content. Nick is a presenter in there, Richard is a presenter in there, Jacob Taylor, Calvin, all the trainers that you know and love and that are fantastic at explaining their specific specialties are all in here, and they cover so many topics of the FileMaker platform. So if you're like, I need extra assistance, feel free to do that to help support our free show. And also, you get tons of great training out of the deal. With that being said, Nick, I think I'm ready to fold it over to you today. So what are we starting today?
Okay,
what are we doing?
It's the day 2. So thank you for the great presentation, Margie, always. So it's day 2 of the presentation of this date picker that I built. Something or a feature that it's a combination of multiple techniques. So because we talk about the techniques, for each technique, but separated. And here we are going to do like a cocktail of multiple techniques together. And then you will see how you can assemble the thing, right? And you will see today and more tomorrow how easy it is to assemble the technique the way we present it, because it's not necessary to do many adaptation, many rework on what we give you on our sample file and stuff like that. What you can use the same by copy paste and a little tweak, and then you can use it, right? So it's important that that you can see how to assemble things together like this, and it would be very easy. So let me share my screen right quick here. Somebody yesterday contacted me and said, hey, I want to, why you do this, why you do all this stuff, and why you want to do the task instead of being a task from that day to that day, right? Instead of doing this, why you want the task to be a record, the task to be a day, and to be like this, like if you take this one, this task, for each day of the task, I have a record. It is from the 13th of July to the 8th of August. It is, but these are dates calculated minimum of that day, maximum of that day, right? So those are the days, right? So I explained yesterday, but I'm going to explain again, is sometimes you have a task you have a 5-day task, for example, here, and you have a task today, right? And you have a task the same day next week, and you have the same day the week, and then you have the week after. So when you have, it is a task that is from the 13th to the 3rd of August, right? The span is from the time frame is from the 13th of July to the 3rd of August, but it's not every day. It's only 4 days. You understand? So this why I do this. But the main reason is, and that could be a nice topic if Margie wanted, is this. This client here wanted this to happen. Haha. So the client wanted a calendar like this, right? So in order to have a calendar like this, okay, you need to have a record. For each day needs to be a record, otherwise it won't work. Okay, I mean, it won't work great. You can do a span, right? A time frame from that day, but it's not in that case. You understand is still not great, because in that case here, it's not from the this one is not from the 13th and the 3rd every day, right? Is from the 13th and the 3rd 4 days, right? So that being said, the calendaring things in FileMaker, so we have an integration done in FM starting point of this. But what we could do, Marge, if you wanted, is to have we can have a poll under. I have a Discord login problem, and I cannot log in with my computer, but it's okay. Oh, I can log in with my phone, by the way, to see the question. But we can have a kind of a poll on Discord if you want to see if people are interested in this in the calendar.
Yeah, would people be interested in Nick doing this calendar stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I think it could be nice.
I mean, I'm down to have it.
Yeah, because it's always cumbersome to come and to understand, because
like five people just said yes. Do you want to do this on Monday?
No, on Monday I can't. It's a week. It's at least a week. Yeah, because we deal with stuff like this, right? So and of course, that's why when people says, oh, copy paste and voila, yeah, you put a comma here and look what happened. Okay, it happened this. Bum. Okay, so you know what I mean.
Yes.
When people say Java copy paste, BS. Okay, so you put a comma and boom, it's bye bye, it's sayonara, it's goodbye, farewell. So it's that's the difficulty, right? And you don't know where. And Calvin, by the way, did a great job. On first of all, it's an add-on, but an add-on always the same problem. It's not merging with your current construction. The add-on will add tables and stuff like that. No, what you want to merge. Okay, so that's what we could do: a merge, an integration, not an addition, not an implementation, an integration of a calendar into your current system. Okay, so that could be a nice topic. By the way, so
okay, I'll add that to the list.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. Let's continue this. So yesterday, let's take this one. So yesterday we showed about this date picker stuff. Yeah. So we said we can add more days. So you add days, but you don't add dates, right? So days is open days, right? It's you don't know yet the dates. So it's a task system. You have a bit of time from an estimate, but you don't know when the job is going to start. But when the job starts, you need to be able to do that easily. And with FileMaker, always dealing with dates is something difficult, right? We don't have great out-of-the-box tools for that, right? I will, it's difficult. So the system I'm using here is make the thing easier. So yesterday we show how we present that, so how we get into it, right? So what I was doing yesterday, I left yesterday, is how to generate this list here, right? How to generate this list, ignoring days of the week. Okay. So for you guys that will follow us, I'm using, so if you go online and and Marge, maybe you can share the link. It's the while function. You go, you type on YouTube, you type Nick Hunter while, 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 Nick Hunter while, and you will get the while function. So the while function, I'm using it in a way that I can ignore those things. So let's see how from a time frame, that day to that day, I can ignore the days, because this is the difficulty from one date to another date. How? Of course, you know me now. That's something you cannot do at the record level. Once again, I'm going to repeat myself, but it's important. You cannot do manipulation of data, which is what we do here. You can manipulate data at the record level. It's heavy, it's hard, it's cumbersome. You need to use the values. Why? Because the value is light. The value is in memory. We don't have any support for that. We don't need support. Records, when you have to deal with records, is heavy. You have to do perform finds, and you have to do constraint, and it's very, omitting or whatever you want to use technique. The technique of the technique of the value, a list of value, is where is your salvation. So here, what I'm doing here. So first thing we do here is using something that I call range. So I create, and I will give you. I create a set of custom function. One I call that range. So the range is still in the old-fashioned tail recursive custom function. I'm not going to explain that because we don't need that technique anymore. That technique of tail recursive, custom function was a bug, a backdoor that FileMaker Claris left open, and it never been intended to be used that way. That's why FileMaker, Claris, came with the while function to replace that. At one point, I'm going to rewrite that function with the while, but I never got the time for it. So, how we call that? I know the name in Spanish, but not in English. It's the when you don't want to do anything.
Procrastinate?
Yeah, it's the I don't. It's the first time I'm doing this. I'm going to translate from Spanish to English. Believe it. Laziness. Oh,
okay. Wasn't quite sure which one. There's a lot of different words.
Yeah, no, in Spanish it's pereza, or flojo. When you say tengo flojo, you're lazy. So I'm flojo. So a range. This custom function here. So let's see what the custom function do. Most of you must know that, but it's okay. Range do this. So range. No, sorry, it's not range. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for it's time frame. Time frame. Okay, hold on. Custom function. Sorry, it's time frame. Good. No, it's it's okay. Time frame is the same. It's exactly the same with dates. Okay, so what this do? Time frame. When you use time frame, this is the custom function I built. So time frame, you say so you have a G start date, and you have a G end date. So it's going to build for you a list of values from the day you said to the day the start date to the end date. It is going to build days, of course, in a way that after the 31st or the 30th or if it's February, it will end on the 28th or the 29th, depending on the year. So that will be taken care of automatically. Okay, so it's not something stupid. So it will do that automatically for you. So when you have this, now you understand why everything is so easy, because now that I have my list of value, you can say, oh, I want get value, and I want the list of values, and I want the 5 first days, for example. Time frame. It's the left value, not get value. Left value, and I want I want the 5 first left values. Okay, I have the 5 first. Or if I want the last right value, right? If I want the last, that's the last. So So you understand. I'm saying that many times. You take the information. So you have two fields that to generate the list of value. So I generate my list of value based on two globals. Right? Two globals. Okay. So I base two globals, and I have this list that comes. So now that I have this, so let's keep this inside. So now that I have these two things here, I can extract those days. So how I'm doing this? So here, right, I have the, what's the name? The pesos right here. So, but the pesos is before to send the order to trigger the scripts to generate the list. I have, so what's the name of this? Yeah, I showed you that yesterday, when you hear FileMaker give you no way to know where you are. So I build this, this is what I let you do a screenshot if you want. I build this. It's so on the top of my watch, on the data viewer, I have a bunch of get stuff, right? So the temporary path, which it can be interesting, the found count. Sometimes you want to debug and say, okay, how many, when you expect to have 10 records and you have 2,000, that you have something, you have a problem, right? So those are very cool to know where you are, the field you are in, and stuff like that, or the window mode, or the window width, or And here I have the table, and of course the layout name. So now I know I need to go to the 404B, which should be there. Okay, so I know I need to go there in order to have this, right? So that's cool. Okay, so now that I have this, I can go and see. Can I hide those things? And here when I trigger the script on the on object save, I have a while day of week stuff here. Okay, and so what I'm doing here, so I have a global. Yeah, I'm doing the thing in the trigger in the scripts. So let's go to see what this script doing. Okay. So this script is doing here. So the 3592A. 3592A. So his name is G while
days a week.
Okay, easier. Sorry, that's why I was, I knew I have it, and the other field. Okay, what this field doing? First of all, it's a global. Okay, so yes, so that's what that's what this morning I said. Don't forget to say that you can have an auto entry calculation on globals, right? Yes, it is a global. Why it is a global? Because we can be, for example, I have a customer. He has a solution with 125 people connected every day, right? So he's one of my biggest customer, by the way. 125 people connected on the server. So this field cannot be no global. It's not possible because otherwise, every time somebody will change a date, we say, hey, the field is busy, because that's something you don't know. Is that on the global field, I can be using the field. You can be using the field. Another guy can be using the field. He will never get, oh, this is busy. Okay, so you can use the field as many times as you want. But it's not a field. When I say use, it's not a field that you edit on the screen, because that in that case it will tell you, hey, somebody is using. No, it's a calculation. Okay, so that means I can have the result. You can have a result, somebody can have a result, so everybody can have a different result on the same field. Okay, and no, it's not good if it's a calc. It cannot be a calc. It needs to be a global with an auto entry. Okay, and of course I have my trigger technique here. So you trigger this, you modify this, and boom, you get all of this calculated. So what the while doing here? I have a start date. Okay, so you need to watch the video. I'm not going to explain how the while is working, but I'm going to explain how I'm using while. So you have the start date -1. Why? Because you want to include it. So if you want, so this is something, this is a good topic, by the way. I want to include that day. Include that day. And I want to include the 10th. I want to include this one, and I want to include this one. So how to do that? We do that this way. By the way, just what I can do to make things cooler. Okay. Here. So I'm saying, here I'm saying -1. So I want the get start date, so the 13. So I'm starting on the 12 in that case to include the 13 because the while function will omit the first day. So if your first day is 13, it will start 14. If your first day is 12, it will start 13. So you say start date -1, and the end date will be included. If you don't want to include it, you want -1. You need it's the opposite. So if you put -1 here, this is what happened. Boom. Okay. So if I do this, if I reset, I do this and this. So before the 10th was there, right? Now it's not. Stop on the 9th. It said from, you know what I mean? So if you don't want to include the end date, or if you don't want to include the start date, this is how you do that. Okay. So I thought it was worth mentioning how FileMaker works. Okay. So I want to include the end date and I want to include the start date. So I need to put the -1 in this one. So the while function, the calculation will run until the dates. So the start date, right, is until the start date is inferior or equal to the max date. The max date is the end date, right? So it will do the calculation. So what the calculation do? Take the date, right? Take it, add 1. Okay. And the result is, I want the result, whatever already there. So that we explained that on the video, on the while video. Okay. And then here I have something interesting. And I say if in the day name of dates, right? That's why dates, this need to be a date format. The field need to be a date format in order that FileMaker can use this, the day name. This is the FileMaker function. Get the name of date, right? And the repeating, what I call repeating, is the day of week. Let me explain. So here, I need to explain, right? This is where I need to explain. So I have here, so the day name. First of all, how the day name works. How the day name works. So I have the day name, right? And I have the day name of the G start date, right? So he said Wednesday, right? So that Wednesday, I have this, okay? So for each day, it will say, for each day, we say the name of the week, or the name of the day. When I have this, what the calculation do, right? I have this here. I have a field here. So let's go back to the calculation right quick. No, I'm not on the right. Yes, I'm on the right. So the calculation here, there's a day name, and I have the repeating. So I have this day of week global field. Day of week global field. Okay. So what this is, the day of week global field here. So global, right? And is this. This is the day of week. So if I present this field in a normal way, a checkbox, what a checkbox do, right? You know that. If you don't know, I'm going to show you. This is what the checkbox doing. If I click here, I remove it. If I click here, right? Click here, it removed from the list. Pretty much, this is doing this. I go there. If I remove this, it will go away from this. If I do this, it will go away. If I type it manually, bam, right? So a checkbox is doing nothing else than a list of values inside the fields. And it add and remove from a value list. Okay? So I have my value list here. I have my value list here with mon, to, wed, to, okay, with my small names, you know, abbreviations. Why is because otherwise it takes is so big, and I want it to be a checkbox, you know. So I don't want the checkbox to be like blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I have a short like this. So now that you understand what I'm doing, like, you know, I have the day name. Okay, I have the day name, complete day name, like this. So I have the day name of a date. So let's say I want the day name of the J start, right? And now I want to know if inside this, if this, you know, I have into that list, right? So that's what I want to know. So for example, here, the day name. So let me see. I have it. So I think the pattern count is the opposite, I think. It should be this. Each time, okay. You see, it happened to the best of us. Always, no? Pattern counts, the day of week. No, it should have done, it should not be the opposite. You know, text, yeah, it should. Always I'm getting confused with this. Hold on. How I'm doing it. Yeah, pattern count, day name, day, get value. Oh, okay, yes. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Okay. I need to explain here. That's why I have this. So let's take this construction out. Okay, this if stuff. Okay, let's take this construction out. I need to dissect this. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. This is where the topic of today. So let's take this out and define a let statements. Okay, because I need it. So in the let statement, I need to define what date is. Date is, let's say, G start date. Okay, let's say we are defining date with this, and we are defining repeating by the G day of week. Okay, so now that I have defined my statements here, right? Now that I have defined my statement, I can remove this right quick and do this. Okay. So here what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's remove this for now. If pattern count, so here I am pattern count, or I don't need the if. I can remove the if. So what this construction is doing? Okay, I'm counting here, and I'm so let's separate this first for a moment. Okay, this here. So let's remove this. No, let's copy this, validate, try to get you understand exactly what happened. So we are going to dissect everything. Okay. So if I get the value, right? If I get, so let's copy this. If I get the value of repeating 1, this is what I get, right? Mon. In this field, the first value is mon. What about the second value? Is 2. What about the third value? Is fry here. And what about the fourth value? Is wed. And if I say fifth, it will say nothing because I don't have 5. I have mon, 2, wed, and 3. I don't have 5, I have 4. So at 5, so until the first 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't work. So now, is the dates here, the date here is 7/13, the 13th of July, 2022. This is the date. Is the pattern count, if the name of that, if the day name, so the day name is Wednesday. This date, the 13th of July, 2022, is a Wednesday. Is a Wednesday. So now, I lost the calculation. Okay. Now, is the pattern count of the day name of that day exists, if it's in the list of if in that date, I have the repeating 1, that means mon. It will say no, 0. No, it's not a Monday. It's not mon. That's why I use pattern count. I don't use equal because day name get me a short name, a complete name. It will give me Monday, Tuesday, Friday, But I have mon, 3, 2, 3. I don't have sun. I don't have the full name. Okay, so I cannot set equal. Otherwise, it will say doesn't match. But pattern count works. So that's why I use pattern count. So yes, I know, because I was using that technique before to extract the first 3 letters of the day name. Instead of saying day name, I could say left this 3.
Hey, Nick, real quick.
Yes.
Can you move your window up so we can see the results better?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
The result wasn't what I want to show. Okay, so it's a 0. Yeah. So, okay, so you understand, I could say extract the 3 first letter of the full name, but I don't like it because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Pattern count will work on all case scenario. And the 3 letters won't work on all case scenario. Don't forget that I work on multiple language. So so I explained that yesterday why. Okay, pattern count works. So pattern count, and let's say, okay, first it's not a Monday. Is it, remember it was 2? No, it's not. Is it 3 because it was Friday the 3rd? No. It is wed? Oh, yes. It's a Wednesday, remember? See, wed, yes. 3, Friday, no. Wed, Wednesday, yes. It's 1. So now you understand why I have the or. So it's taking the first, it takes it, and the calculation here will do this. Where is it? G. Okay. So the calculation will do this. It will test the first, and it will test the second. It will test the third. it will stay the false. Yes, I could use case. I could have used case, but in that case, this is faster. Don't ask me why. Okay? Don't ask me. Ask Claris. I don't know why. So case is not faster. This is faster. Okay. I have no idea why. So, and to be honest with you, it's faster. It's better to debug than the case. Okay. So I'm testing this, or. And so I'm testing all the week. So I'm testing if the dates, if the current date, if these dates, right, in the while, if it arrives, if it's in the repeating, so it tests this, and only if he say, okay, put the date, that means it's okay. You're okay. So if the dates that arrives in the calculation in the while, plus one, plus one, plus one, plus one, plus one. Okay. When the calculation lands to a date with a day name that is not in the list, that it's not the first, not the second, not the third, if it's not in the list, right? If it's not there, it's not going to put the results, right? It's not going to. So, demonstration. So if I go there and I say G while day of week, that's why I got confused, is because I was there, as I was reading while day of week in the script, and I was selecting this one. So the while day of week, right? This is what the while day of week do. I take those two global fields to generate a list based on those I'm generating. So if I said I want the Thursdays, you add the Thursday, or I remove the Thursday, right? See what happened here? So the global, so the auto entry calculation using the while is going to build for me the list of value, and only for me. Somebody else will have another one. That for me only, because it's a global. If you don't do that to the global, you can imagine the mess if you have 10% doing this. So now that I have this, now that I have this list, right? What do I do with this? So far I didn't do anything, and that's why it's fast. I didn't move any data. I didn't do anything. What did I do? I have two global to suck up in the memory a time frame from that day to that day, right? And then the while function that say, okay, start with this, end with this, right? But if the while function that says 13 plus 1, 14 plus 1, 15 plus 1, 18 plus 1, 19 plus 1, 20 plus 1 plus 1, if each time you arrive at plus 1 and the name of that day is not part of that list, ignore it. That's simple, right? So you understand that you cannot do this at the record level. If you do this at the record level, it won't work well. It will be very complicated to build. Here, this is in memory. So why I'm using, why I'm using a global and why I'm not using a variable, is because it's simpler. It's simpler to to manipulate the data like that way. To have a global. Sometimes it's great to have a variable. Sometimes it's great to have a global. So now that I have this, right, and that I can start showing that now. But do we have any question so far?
We do actually, real quick. We've got 2 questions.
Okay, go.
Actually 3. So first question, can you select a date range and select every 3rd Wednesday in that date range?
Every 3rd. I don't every 3rd. I don't understand what that means.
So like, if there were 3 Wednesdays, you wouldn't select 1 and 2, but you'd select the 3rd Wednesday, I think. So like, if you had 6 Wednesdays, only 2 Wednesdays would be selected.
Yeah, that's something you can do later. So you can do 2 passes. You do 2 pass, and that was my next demonstration.
Cool.
So
real quick.
I will show you that. You know how you do the 2 pass. Go.
So one line looking. So one is if faster than case, and vice versa.
In many time if is faster than case, because if I remember, because the problem is what I know about this might have changed across the time, because FileMaker changed so many times how they populate things in memory and how they hold things in memory and stuff like that. But sometime the if is faster, or because it's not going to treat the data the same way as the case. Case is going to take the whole package, and then in the whole package do the selection. The if is not taking the whole package, is doing the first statement, and then it will read case by, it will read statement by statement, piece by piece. Case, it will suck all the thing and do the thing and do the selection within the big buck. Okay, so sometimes case is much faster than if. Sometimes if is much faster than case. It's not something that is written in the marble, and I challenge any FileMaker developer to come and with a reason here. I think it's only an engineer at FileMaker will know that. But when they, something that you need to know, the engineering at Claris, when they build something, they don't even know the repercussions they have, what they do on the user, or what they need to know. Is it working? Yes. Do I have a crash? No. And is it fast enough? Yes. Boom. That's it. They don't go far further than this. We are dissecting things like hair by hair, because that's what we do. But them, they don't. So you need to test. Sometimes, I'm testing one way, I'm testing another way, and I have a startling result sometimes. I'm sometimes surprised. I was guessing my life on being right on something, and it's not the case, right? It's depending, because I'm using this in the wild. So look, you have a lot of specifics here. Okay, let me explain. First of all, I'm in a global, which is the first specific. The second specific, I am in a while function. So I am into another function. So I'm, so it's in a function that is using a FileMaker memory in a very peculiar way. Okay. So you have a lot of exceptions here that takes counts, right? So it's like recently a friend of mine says, a doctor said, "Oh, if you have COVID, you need to take Viagra." And I said, why? Because you stay at home and you don't know what to do. So he said, no, it's because the Viagra was a pill to treat pneumonia at the beginning, with a very, very peculiar side effect. And it was a poor pill for the pneumonia, but the side effect was very cool. So they make the Viagra a pill for something that is not okay. It's a little bit the same here. Okay, I have a side effect. I don't know why. And I'm using the side effect in my own advantage. Okay, but the Viagra explanation is true. It's a true story. So let's go back and show explain the first question we had. So tomorrow I'm going to explain how I'm generating this, because we have the pieces and we have, okay, but I'm not going to that. I'm not going to do that now because we have only 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you when I get the list. So I take this list of values. Out of this list of value, I'm generating records. And then when I have records, those are records, okay? So if I go there, if I take this, and I go to the calendar days, should be something like calendar days here. So if I go to calendar, sorry, I need to go to the tables, calendar days. Yeah, so if I go there, those are, right, those. So those records here are those, right? That is. So from Wednesday to Tuesday on the 9th here, right? On the 9th. If I do this, but you remember I changed my calculation. So now I will change it. It will do to the 10. Right? So, okay. It will include the 10. If the 10, it should include the 10. No, it's done. Okay, never mind. So it's there. So okay, so I have this and this. So there are records. So now that I have this, I can say, I don't want that day. I don't want that day. I don't want that day. So first you have a first selection with this, which this is more, is more hard coded. This is more automatic. Bam, I don't want the Wednesday. I don't want the Thursday. I don't want the Friday, right? But here you can be like, much more precise. Say, yeah, okay, I have this, but okay, on this Monday here, we off. We don't work. We don't work we don't work the first, the second, and the third. We don't work. So remove it. So this is where you can do your second selection, the second pass. Okay. You can say, yeah, it's good. I have those, but I don't want those days, or I don't want, so you can say, for in that case, okay, in that case, you say, if the dates, if I have a pattern count, how many Wednesday I have in this list, okay? So how many Wednesday I have. So you can use a relationship to say, okay, I want the last Wednesday of the list, okay? So for example, here, I can prepare that for tomorrow if you want. You said, I want to isolate I want only the Wednesday. I can do that right now. So you have a global test, okay? So that's the global, okay? You have a global. In that global, you say, I want the Wednesdays. Okay. So I'm just assuming is that what you want, but the demonstration will be valuable anyway. So the name of that list, okay, hold on. I need the name of that list to know. Normally, yeah, I don't need the name. I know what to do. Okay. So I'm going to the T123, right? I'm going to calendar days, okay? And I'm going to create my own here, right? So, but here, I have the day, yeah. So you say, I just create the G test, right? The G test. I want G test day, right? And I want only those, okay? So I want only those. So this is what happened when I do this. Okay, so let's say I have this. Okay, I change it to the AA copy. Okay, let's make it white then. No, stupid. Let's make it white. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put and I said inside here in the J test here. Okay. Let's say I only want the Wednesdays, okay, or the Monday. Okay, that's weird. Oh, because sorry, I need to change this. I can yeah, no, I can use this. So let me remove this. So here I need to change the AA and the AA also here, AA. Okay, yeah. So it will only show the Mondays, okay? So now that you have this, so you say, okay, I want only the last Monday of my list, okay? So you use a combination of multiple things. First, you get your list, then you extract the day you want, right? Right? And you say, I want the last of this one, of those, okay? So you have the list, and then you have another calc that says, remember to extract. So you say let, or you don't need let. What you need to do is this. You said max, right, of the T123 AA copy dates. That's the last one. 8/8/2022. 8/8/2022. Let's say I'm changing to Wednesday. Okay. Okay. The last is 8/3/22. So this is how you do. So you never try to suck in this and try to filter. Never work. Okay. Never. So let's say I want the Wednesday and the Mondays. Okay. And I want the last of those. Okay. That would be the 8. Okay. So you can add multiple days. You can, so I don't know if that answers the question, but you can use that technique to do what you want to do. You have a time range, time frame, you use a while, you have your list, you extract the day, and you say, okay, I want the last of this one, right? So you can have a loop that do that on server. You extract the thing. So you have a loop on server. That I'm going to show you that tomorrow, by the way, the loop on server. So, so how you can adapt the techniques, that will be tomorrow. So I'm going to keep that for tomorrow if you want. I'm going to keep that for tomorrow. And we can, oops, what did I do? I moved, okay, yeah. But I think for today, we're good, right? If you have any questions, if we don't, we can land the enterprise for now.
I think I've got one more question from David Angel. Why create a list of values instead of creating related records?
Why creating? Can you repeat the first?
Why create a list of values instead of creating related records?
Because as I explained, how you want to manipulate records like this, how you can extract this, and you can. So because yeah.
Angel said that you explained. I just missed.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know. Always. No, it's okay. Look, it's a recommendation that I give. You should avoid using records. Leave the records alone. Treat them like a basket of snails. You don't want to excite them. Okay, so records are the same. They're a basket of snails, and they're not your friends. So because records, you can destroy them, you can alter them. You can do stupid things with records. They're with the values, I can do whatever I want. It's a value. It's a value. It's in the air. I can mess up what I want. I can do all those mistakes I want. But when you deal with records like this, first of all, it's heavy. It's like they are like trucks. They're heavy. I prefer roller skates. Roller skate is faster than a truck, right? So it's the same thing. Lighter you are, and easier you can do. And FileMaker has an arsenal of function for the values. So that's why I say every time you can, as much as you can, you go to the value, extract, suck up everything out of the record and say, okay, leave the record alone, and you do everything under. And after that, if you want, you can take it back to the record. That will be tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do how we get all of this and we put that into records, right? That will be the topic of tomorrow.
Which will be awesome. Okay. Quick reminder for some people asking, the sample file will be available tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow or a little bit later to this week, depending on my availability. So because I need to extract this, I started, but I did some modification since I did it because I found some bugs. So I want the sample file to be the as clean as possible. So
which we appreciate.
Yeah. So it's valuable because this entire solution that I'm working on it's a 80,000 plus solution. $80,000 plus solution. It's not something cheap.
Yeah. No.
No. I mean it's important because it's like what I'm saying to all my customers. Sometimes I'm using something from another person and. It doesn't have to, sometimes I'm saying to when I'm working on multiple projects, so I'm saying people on one project say, okay, let's do that later. Let's do that later because I'm working on the same thing or something similar on another project. Let me done on that project, and then I will implement in yours in no time. And sometimes, I'm doing the same for in the other way around. So it's a give situation like this. I'm benefiting from one project to another and stuff like this. But this construction, I built it for that customer. So
Okay. Glad to have you tomorrow, and thank you again so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!